Well, GM, G to the M. Great morning, my friends, D-Gens, Diamond Hand fam, super soldiers, Forge and Fuel crew, one percenters, pioneers, pivoters, pursuers, brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas, mamas y papas, anyone I may have left out, and anyone in between. Welcome back and welcome into the best way to start your day. It's time to get fired up at Forge and Fuel, baby. I am your humbled, honored, and clearly always hyped host, Colton Capp Swirl One, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, hang out with me and my guys, and dive down some inspirational and motivational rabbit holes unlike any other. Now, we got one hell of a show on tap for you today on this wonderful Wednesday morning. It is Hump Day all day long, the day that our wonderful friend Jeff Montross does his best work. Also, October the 16th, 2024, if you haven't checked your calendar yet today, and I hope you're ready to wake up like never before, because we got more vibes, we got more insights, more perspective, and more energy coming your way on this Wednesday morning, and you're gonna know what to do with, baby. But before we proceed, before we get this proverbial show plane soaring through the skies of change, I must humbly ask you to do a few things. If you could take a quick moment to and you haven't already found it inside of yourself to make these things happen, and you can find that big old heart of yours thumping, and you could say, let me utilize that heart too. Smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you're currently adjusting the Forge and Fuel podcast on. If you are watching on YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell as well, so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional content dropping from DHMG. If you're watching on X, you might as well hit that like, hit that repost, hell, even hit a quote post. Let the people know why you're tuning in to Forge and Fuel this morning. And if you're watching on Facebook, maybe hit that like, maybe hit a share. Let the people know over there why you're tuned in here to F&F. And also, if you're listening to this show on your favorite podcast directory like Spotify or Apple, maybe even Amazon Music, maybe you could think about giving us a follow or maybe hitting a 5-star rating. It certainly helps us continue to grow, and we appreciate when you guys do all of that over there, don't you know? Shout out to each and every one of you beautiful humming beings, helping that algo get going and get flowing on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Hey, as a reminder, if this show makes you laugh, if it makes you cry, if it makes you think, if it makes you go, I ain't never thought of it that way before. I like that perspective. Well, don't be a hoe. Share the show. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Let the people know, and we will proceed with this morning's
Don't be
flow.
rude.
My friends, I'm here. I've made my perspectives clear. My energy is hopefully vibrating through the screen. I hope you can feel it on the opposite side. Hello, hi, how's it going? How you doing? I'm ready to rock and roll. But, you know, I couldn't do this show alone. I could bring the vibes, I could bring the perspectives, but that would only be half of the story. See, maybe we'd miss some thoughts. Maybe we'd miss some vibes. Maybe it just wouldn't be the show we know. So, my friends, joining us now, the second half of this fine morning program. He is the owner of the Grandpa Ape Country Club. He is a professional DJ with a wide-ranging musical catalog, making him a human iPod.
What?
He is a purveyor of positive vibes.
What?
A curator of high-level energies.
What?
A certified PLP pusher.
What?
Always shining so damn bright they don't know what time of day it is when he comes in the room.
What?
The jet plane flying.
What?
McLaren driving.
What?
Rolex rocking.
What?
President of St. Louis, Missouri.
What?
Bitcoin Maxi.
What?
The one, the only, with an emphasis on the one.
What?
He's DJ Swirl One. Great morning, Swirl One. How you doing over there in Kansas City?
Oh man, I'm doing really good. Life is grand. I'm telling you, bro. It's a brand new hotel room. Can you see? Look around. Look at that.
Pretty nice over there. Pretty
nice, right? Yeah.
Over there.
I think I'm the first person to stay here. So there's that. So great morning to everybody. I'm out here.
Swirl One.
Bad news bear. You know what I mean?
Hey-o.
Bitcoin is rocking. We're okay with that. What is it? Hold on. 67,875 right now.
Oh.
Taking off. I don't know. Cap doesn't think it's going to stay up there. Neither do I, but I'm trying to keep it, on the low. You know what I mean? It's okay. I'm not mad about it. Hey, do me a favor. Get yourself a hot cup of Joe. You know what else you could do? You could get yourself some water too. This right here, this is nectar of the gods, just so you understand. It's very important. Oh, yes, I've got two of them too.
Double fisting, bro.
Hey, I get it. I'm telling you. I don't know. I love hump day, man. We're getting here's the thing about hump day. Tomorrow is Thursday. Bam, all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, the weekend's here. We're going to get going. I got to start getting ready for a DJ party again. Okay, my hearing is coming back.
Oh.
Ooh, check that out. Shout out to Mama Capp talking about the opening song. Might have to release that to the world so everybody can download it, check it out, all that kind of good stuff. Might be something I need to do here very soon. However, that's for another time and topic. For now, we've got the internal antenna, and we're about to kick it off. Forge and Fuel, the best way to start our day. So, hey, hit a comment in there. We'd love to read what you guys say. Send a question. We'd love to answer it here at the end. Other than that, though, hey, Cap, let's get this thing kicked off already, bro. What do you think?
Woo! I'm ready, Swirl One. I tell you what, and there's a little reminder for all you amazing human beings out there, if you have a question you'd like answered on the show, we do have a segment. If you don't know, you won't know. Third segment of the day called Answers from the Anvil. We dive into the live chat and we answer your questions. Hell, we even got a show email where you can send us your questions. That is askfnf@thedhmgroup.io. You can send your questions over there, don't you know? And we'll drag them over to the show, and then we'll answer them live in prime time on the third segment of the day. So there you go, baby. And if you're tuning in live and you're in the live chat right now and we're saying something and it trips a trigger and you say, wait a minute, I need you to elaborate. I need more thoughts. Just type on away and we'll bring it on over here once we get to that third segment of the day. But my friends, this would not be an episode of Forge and Fuel if we didn't get it started one specific way. You see, as the great Jim Valvano once said, in order to have a full day, you got to laugh, you got to cry, and you got to think. And the first one on that list is you got to laugh. You got to get a good little chuckle. You got to get a little funny ha-ha. So this morning, my friends, we got a good one. We got one that was making its way around X last night, and hopefully I found it before many of your eyes were able to see it. This is an oldie but a goodie. Maybe you haven't seen it for a long time. Maybe you've never seen it before. But a young lady this morning is going through some shit. She has had one too many numbing shots at the dentist.
Baby, how was the dentist today?
No!
Can you give me a nice big smile?
Oh my god! I can't stop laughing.
It gets better. It gets better the longer you look.
3 times the charm. You lose your face. I can't tell if you're crying or laughing.
Fucking me. I can feel the tears running down my eyes. And he's like, so when you get home, don't be alarmed. It's gonna look like you've had a stroke.
The one side of your face like you're smiling on that side. Look, hold on.
I must have watched that. I must have watched that 75 times over the last 12 hours. It's still slapping.
That woman right there is such a good sport. It's ridiculous. I mean, that is funny. Talk about being lighthearted, just saying, hey, I'm just going to live with this. She couldn't even laugh to smile to cry, and she didn't know what to do, and none of it was happening. So I love it. It's
no, this is fucking amazing. The longer you look at that shit, the better it gets.
The best part, bro, was when she grabs the water and she's like,
oh shit! I told you that was a good one. Woo! Woo! All right, kids.
No.
Well, if you got a dentist appointment coming up, make sure you don't take any additional drugs or anything that's stopping that numbing cream, or you might end up like that young lady you saw here this morning. Who's to say? Who's to know? But there's your morning laugh, and it's time to proceed with this morning's show. Episode 590 is officially underway as we get into the first segment of the day. It's time for your sharpening session. Alrighty then, my friends. Pardon me, one more little sip of water. I mean, that's just some good high-quality H2O this morning. Just a reminder, drink your water, fix your posture, get your shit set, and let's dive into today's sharpening session, my friends. If you don't know, you won't know. But, title of the day, opening topic of the day, the internal antenna. Trust your gut. Who's to say, who's to know where we go this morning? But I was doing some thinking, and I know that is a dangerous thing when that starts to happen, but I was doing it. And I was sitting here last night, and as I was thinking, I got a phone call. And I got a phone call from an OG of the Diamond Hand fam. And we were sitting there and talking and going back and forth, and said to me, "Hey, Cap, that's something I've noticed." I said, "All right, what have you noticed?" I said, "I've noticed that you have an innate ability to pivot at the perfect time." I thought about it for a moment. I said, "Hey, you know what? You're kind of right." They said, another question behind that: why is that? Why do you know when to pivot? Better yet, how do you know when to pivot? How do you do it so good? Because, Cap, here's what I'm going through right now. XYZ, ABC. My head's spinning around in circles. I feel like it's about to pop off my fucking body. What should I do? And I thought, well, hell, why should I only give this information to you? Why should I just give you the person? Why not bring it to Forge and Fuel and share it with the whole wide world? Because maybe somebody else is standing at that fork in the road. Maybe somebody else is getting to the end of the rope. Maybe that grass is starting to grow under their feet and they're saying, shit, I need to make a move, but I don't exactly know how to make a move. You know, when it comes to making pivots, you'll be in a situation and you'll know whatever it is, a circumstance, a job, a career, a business, a relationship, you name it, you will know. You can feel that internal antenna, that metaphorical red flag waving in the air when you know something's not right. But you have to listen to that. You have to be able to be in tune and listen to, wait, okay, yeah, this don't feel right. Something's not good here. I got to make a move. And how do you begin to even understand, like, oh shit, something doesn't feel right? You have to know yourself. You have to start with everything we always talk about: spending time in solitude by yourself, knowing yourself truly. What makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you mad, what makes you glad, what gets you up in the morning, what gets you passionate, what takes away your passion. You got to know all those things. And if you do, and you know the true version of you, when these moments come up, when it doesn't feel right, you can lean back and say, wait a minute, I'm doing everything I need to do right now. I'm the best version of me. Where do I got to go? And you might be thinking, you know, man, I just feel stuck. I'm getting better and better and better. And that happens a lot, right? Especially when you start to get in these 1%er lanes and surround yourself with the right people. You start to get better and better mentally, physically, financially. You're leveling up, you're rocking, but maybe that business isn't working out. Maybe that opportunity you've been chasing after, it's just not coming to fruition. It happens all the time. You're just waiting for the things that are already promised out there for you to catch up to you. You just have to continue to get better and better and better, and eventually they'll show up on your doorstep. But again, that doesn't happen if you don't know yourself and you don't take time to say, why doesn't this feel right? What about this is taken away from me? Why is this not feel settling in my gut? Why does this not feel like rainbows, puppy dogs, and unicorns? And if the more you can ask yourself that question, the more you'll be able to find the answers. And I thought about a couple examples, and I've shared these 1,000,001 times with people who have always reached out to me and said, hey man, how do you pivot? How do you make these moves? You seem to be able to do it just at the right time. You know, when I start to feel that pressure and that tenseness and that, oh shit, I got to make a move. Something's got to happen here. This just isn't right. I don't like this. I don't know what it is, but something's got to happen. The first thing I do is I rip out a piece of paper and my pen, and I draw a big old line across the top and a line through the middle, and I say pros and I say cons, and I start fucking writing. And whatever side fills up, I know what I need to do. It's not rocket science. You might say, oh, Cap, it can't be that easy. It is that easy. It's how I'm able to pivot over and over and over again at the perfect time. Because anytime I come to that fork in the road, I say, okay, bam, Forge and Fuel, Java and Jams, pros and cons. And every time I kept coming to Forge and Fuel, the pros would fill up faster than the cons, and the cons would fill up faster than the pros for Java and Jams. I knew what I needed to do. The shit was literally on paper in front of me. It wasn't spinning around in my head. I wasn't questioning it. It was literally on paper, and bam, now I know what to do. So then you apply the secret formula. You figure out a dream, whatever it has to do with that thing. You put a date on it. You make it a goal. You break it down into steps. You make it a plan, and you back it with daily consistent action and watch it become your reality. It's that simple. But so many people don't want to get out of their head and get onto a piece of paper, and they just keep it up there forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and they never pivot. They never go forward. Instead, they just pack it in and turn into Eeyore and say, oh, see, I told you I could never do it. I told you I could never get there. Another thing that I think works 100 times out of 100, and it really helps you with finding you and finding the reason and the purpose and the passion for being here. And it's taking time and prayer and meditation. And if you got to get up 10, 15, 20 minutes earlier, then do that. Or if you close out your day that way, then do that. You say, oh, Cap, I don't know how to read the Bible, and I don't know how to pray, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Go to Amazon and pick you up a devotional. They have men's devotionals, women's devotional, business devotional, entrepreneurship devotional, bull riding devotional. You name it, they got a devotional for it. Go to Amazon, spend $10, and now you got something that you can work out of. And you work through that, you might say, oh my gosh, I know more about what the Bible's trying to teach me than I ever have before. Holy shit, maybe I should spend a little more time. Oh my gosh, there's so much to this. Hey, God, how are you? Wow, I got a relationship with you now. Where do you want me to go? Why do you think I say, here am I, send me? Because I can come up with all these ideas and all these pioneers and all these pivots, but if he's not at my center, then it doesn't matter. I don't know where I'm going in this life, but he does. He knows every hair on my head. He knows every dollar in my bank account. He knows every place in this world I'm going and every hand I will shake. So why would I try and figure this thing out by myself? I'm just going to say, hey, this is how I feel. This is what I'd like to do. This is where I'd like to be. If it's right, here I am. Send me. And that's all it's got to be. And I suppose the last one is a little more once you get into the pivot and you start to figure it out, or maybe you haven't made it quite yet. Get into your lane and start seeing what other people are doing. You know, for me personally, for Forge and Fuel, I started looking around. I started seeing what's the content scene? Where are things going? Where's it going to be in a year, 3 years, 5 years? How are things moving? And I knew this is where we needed to be. And there's still many, many, many things to come that you guys will say, oh, that's why we did that. I know, because I spend time with my pros and cons. I spend time in prayer and meditation. I spend time talking with my creator. I spend time looking at what others in our lanes, in these motivational lanes, are doing. I already know. I know where this right here, Diamond Hand Media Group, I know where we're going. I may not know exactly what it looks like. I may not know exactly how we're going to get there, but Diamond Handsville is what's waiting for each and every one of us who keep showing up every day. So I leave you with this. If it doesn't feel right, if you got that internal antenna going, doot, 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 that red flag waving like a son of a, hey, hello. Maybe listen to that. Maybe slow down for a moment. Maybe pull yourself back out of the chaos of life and just listen to that antenna for a minute. Maybe it's trying to tell you exactly what you need to do, but you keep avoiding it because it's the hard work. It's the challenge. It's the things that you don't want to do. You know what you need to do. Just like I said yesterday, if you're feeling fat, get on the scale. You'll know exactly what you need to do. If you're feeling skinny, get on the scale. You'll know exactly what you need to do. Trust your internal antenna. Trust your gut. And watch where it leads each and every day. Who's to say, who's to know? Baby! What do you think about that internal antenna, Swirl One? I know you're a guy, we usually be on the same page when it comes to the old internal antenna. Who's to say, who's to know?
Oh, I've been writing notes. I got a lot written down here. And the first thing I thought of, too, is, you know, when you know something's going bad, the first thing I usually feel is like that little hair right here in your neck. I don't know if you guys know, but you're like, oh, I didn't feel good. What was that? And a lot of times you can't get that feeling from something somebody else does. It's always from something you do. It doesn't come from something somebody else does. It's always your internal, oh man, what was that? I don't know if that felt good. I don't know if that was a good idea. I don't know if that was a good choice, right? So, you talked about how it's time to pivot. And a lot of times people don't realize that, it's the choices that made that they got them to where they needed to be right then. And you know why they don't sit and pay attention to what's going on is because they've got so much noise around them, right? They're always, man, what they do as soon as they find that little thing that happens back there, you know what they do? They find something to distract them. They turn the music up a little bit louder. They turn the page on the book, or maybe they change the channel and they start, let me get something else in front of me so it can take my attention for a minute, right? That's true. People do it all the time. Instead of realizing, hey, that's something I need to fix, they go, let me put something in front of me so I can get that attention somewhere else real quick. And, you talk about the Ben Franklin method. That's a really good method of figuring out what you want to do, because in that, you have to understand that with the Ben Franklin method, there's something that most people don't understand. You can still be biased on that page. You can be biased. So you have to sometimes you have to write it down, come back the next day, right? And then write it down again and see if you were being a little emotional with the way you wrote something. Maybe what you wrote in there in the pros isn't a pro, or maybe what you put on the cons is actually a pro. And sometimes you have to go back and adjust that list. So just because you make the list right now doesn't mean the list is always 100% foolproof. It's always good with anything. And somebody said something about an email the other day. If you ever have a hard email or something you need to write it, let it sit, come back to it 24 hours later, and then reread it, and then reread and send it, because you'll probably make some changes and some adjustments, because when you're in that moment, emotion does come out. We all are emotional creatures. So we'll say things that, they really right here, or I really think this, or whatever. And then you go back to it and you realize, hey, you know what? I probably could have said that a better way, or maybe I shouldn't be so harsh in the way I say this or that, right? And I think a lot of times people will put these lists down, do the things that they want, and then they won't come back and revisit them. They'll just take that as, hey, that's what I thought right then. We're good. I'm done. But that's not how things work. The next day, there is calm. There's always that, right? That's why we always say, if you get the gift to open up your two eyes, understand that gift comes with new ideas, new perspectives. You might even have a different perspective on the same thing you thought about yesterday. And as a matter of fact, you might come across somebody who gives you a different perspective today just because you thought a certain way yesterday. And that's a big one. Here's another one. Talk about noise pollution. I talked to you guys on Monday. I told you my ears have been damaged, and they were damaged from Saturday night. And again, wear your earplugs. That's all I got to say. Like, it's really a big deal. I've been doing this all my life, and I've always had earplugs somehow, some way when big shows happen. And I just forgot them that day, and it's just a bad thing. So my ears have been hurt since Saturday. So every day these last 3 or 4 days, I have been sitting in silence, because just like when you pull a muscle, right? You don't go to the gym and you start working that muscle out, right? No, you let that muscle rest. Same thing with your ears. You don't realize your ears are always picking up different things. So every day I've been sitting in silence as much as possible. I mean, literally, if I have to put, some AirPods on and just put them on noise canceling so I couldn't hear anything out there with nothing playing, that's what I had to do. But when you do that, you get stuck with your own thoughts. You get stuck with a lot of thoughts. Especially if you take a 3-hour drive, or you go for a walk while you're doing your gym, or whether you're at the gym. A lot of people play music. Guess what? I haven't been playing music. I know it sounds psycho, but my ears are hurt. So I'm trying to let them breathe, trying to let them build. And in that time, that perspective that I'm able to gain from having literally all that silence is, I can't even begin to tell you. It is such a huge deal to me right now. And I've been able to almost put a Ben Franklin in my mind over all these different things that I've been doing, thinking. And when you spend time with yourself, you will find your answers. I guarantee it. It doesn't take a list sometimes. Sometimes you just got to sit there and realize, man, I'm talking to myself on this, and I think that I'm right on that. And I never thought about it that way. And the more you spin in those thoughts, you find your answers. And that's the thing. But once you get the answer, you have to act on it. You can't just like Capp said, you get the answer, you got to pivot. That's when you make the move, right? Once you get the answer, don't dwell on it, because you know what's going to happen once you've Well, just like me, once my ears get fixed, I'm going to start putting them back to work, and I'm going to start doing the things that I like to do so much, right? Friday's going to come. I'm going to have to DJ, right? So things are going to start going in front of me. So if I get that thought at that point in time, I need to act on it then, because in 2 or 3 days, that thought's not going to be there for me. If I didn't write it down and if I didn't put it somewhere, then guess what? It's going to come and go just as quickly as it did then. So it's very important that when you spend that time with yourself and you get that silence, and it's called clarity, you get that clarity, that you write it down, you act on it, you do something for it right then. That's the only way you can really find out, hey, am I really using my internal antenna? Do I really understand what trusting my gut means? That's exactly what it is. Trust yourself, give yourself silence, and give yourself time to make the right decisions.
Damn, son, you got me fired the fuck up over here. I'm scribbling notes. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how are we this much on the same page? Limit your noise. First thing I want to hit on. Man, you're not going to find the answers if you're always fucking just playing the fucking clown game of life. Like, what are we doing here? You know, like, come on. Limit your noise. You don't have to watch Netflix every single night. You don't have to fire up the Xbox every single night. You know, something I'd love to do, and I've said it a million times, I am a gamer to the core. I love playing Madden. There's just something, it is human chess. For those of you that know Madden, you know Madden. You have to be locked in. It is like playing chess. One play, you fuck up, you're going to be down 21-0, and you're saying, what the hell fucking happened around here? But I know that doesn't pay me. I know that doesn't send me anywhere. I know that doesn't give me anything. So I can still take that time, but I got to limit that. And maybe, who knows, I'm really good at Madden. And in the future, we get into some of these lanes, some of these popular guys. Hey, yo, Colt, don't you play Madden? Hey, put 5 on it. All right, let's run it, homie. Come on, motherfucker. And the next thing you know, I'm around a group of high-level motherfuckers connecting over a game of Madden, right? But I got to know when to use it. I got to know when to actually pick up those sticks. And okay, now's a good time. Do I need to build business right now? Do I need to go make that investment? Do I need to go run those errands? What is it, right? Limit your noise. I saw this reel the other day, and you might see these girls around. Those 2 girls that do that Christian podcast, and sometimes I agree with them, sometimes I don't. And they're really on like the men and women tip. You see them. They're 2 beautiful girls. They're amazing looking women. But sometimes you'll see them on reels, and they just get to talking about just shit. And one of these girls, she was on there yesterday. She was crying her eyes out, just saying, I want to be loved. I've just been alone for so long that I just want to be loved. And, you know, it's so hard and blah, 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 blah. She says, you know, I would take it to God, but I just feel selfish. This is a Christian podcast, by the way. So I have decided not to take it to God, and I've just decided to figure it out myself. And, you know, one of the ways, breaking news. You know, I stay up till 3 a.m. just scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and TikTok because I don't want to deal with it and I want to be away from it. And I know that's not healthy, but it's just what I'm doing right now. What? How is that what you're spreading to the people? How is that what you're telling? You're literally not limiting your noise. You're literally right there taking time away from yourself. No shit. You're probably never going to be a high-value woman or a stand-up woman because you're always got bags under your eyes because you stayed up till fucking 3 a.m. and your knuckles are dragging and you're saying stupid shit because your brain's not firing. No wonder. Take these problems to your creator. The things you can't figure out because your human pea brain is too small to do it. You're a dumb human, just like me. We're all stupid. We put our legs in our pants the same way in the morning. We don't know shit about shit. Nobody does. But I'll tell you who does. I'll tell you who'll give you an answer. And if you really want the answer, he'll talk to you as clear as you can hear my voice right now. But you got to want the answer every damn time. And I saw Mama Capp put something in here. Send is not your friend. Put that email in your hold file and read it the next day. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've composed an X post. Hey, I'm getting better. Not saying tweet, baby. Come on. An X post or an Instagram or whatever, or even a DM or a text or whatever. And I'll write that whole fucker out. And I'll get a motherfucker and I'll get in my shit. And my thumbs are pounding that fucking board. And oh, you gonna feel this energy, you son of a bitch. And then I put down my phone. And I sit there for a minute. And I pick that phone back up and I read it. Whoa! Who is that? Yo, what did I say? Oh, delete. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to send that. On to my next thing, right? I composed a whole comment yesterday to cook this motherfucker. And I said, you know what? Not me. I'm good. I get off the show. I hop into the comment section. People had already come to my defense and said, hey, you're the retard, not him. Going crazy. And I'm like, hey, let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's why we build together. I don't have to fight these battles. Maybe, hey, compose it. Get the thoughts out there. Let the world know. Don't let the world know, but let the world know in your head. And then delete that shit. Maybe even save it in your drafts. Maybe save that fucker in your draft and come back tomorrow and have a laugh at yourself and how stupid you felt today. How dumb you look today. And I'll tell you one more thing. You got to make the move. You got to be willing to make the move. When you feel the pivot, when you know what you got to do, you're standing at the cliff's edge, you got to take the leap of faith. You know what you need to do. And I go back to you talking about letting the body rest, right? Monday, I had taken a couple days off. Mama Capp was here over the weekend, hadn't gone into the gym. I've been eating great. My nutrition didn't slip or anything. I just hadn't been into the gym. Monday, woke up with some serious back pain. Couldn't even fucking do this. I was a mess. I said, all right, I got to rest. I got to take some time. Did I want to? Fuck no. Did I? No, not in a world. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm losing all my progress. Holy shit, what's happening? I start scrolling through YouTube and I find this old school bodybuilder who's talking about taking 2 weeks off in between every training session and how that's the perfect amount of time and how you don't really need to train every day and all of this. And I'm like, oh, okay, give yourself a little break. And the next thing I know, I wake up Tuesday and I'm fired up. I'm geeked. I'm zeked. I'm like, oh, we're going to squat, baby. And I'm thinking, man, I'm probably a little weak. I've been in it a couple days. I'm probably a little weaker than I have been. I'm going to tell you guys something. I've never felt stronger in my life. I took 3 days off and I felt like fucking Arnold in there. I loaded up on the back squat bar. I took that shit off. I went down deeper than shit. And did I get it? No. But I got higher than I did last week. I got stuck halfway and I was almost there. I was almost there so much, in fact, that when I let that shit roll off my back and hit the catchers, there was a dude back there who was deadlifting 505, looked at me and he said, that depth was insane. I thought you had it. I said, I thought I had it too, bro. I'm so fucking close. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to show up next week and do it again because this failure is just a brand new chance for me to flourish. Damn, that's a hell of a mindset. I said, bro, I was 130 pounds 10 weeks ago. I'm 165 brick shithouse right now. Let's fucking go. And he's all hyped up, and we're getting hyped up. And I meet the guy named Matt in the gym, right? Hey, all these little things we talk about, it just all fits into one. Just because I decided to think this way, now I got a new connection. Who knows where that leads to? Who knows where things go? I'm just trying to give you the dots. Draw the lines if you want, baby.
Hey, I love it.
Woo!
You brought up those ladies, and now, hey, I'm just not going to trust God with it. Well, let me tell you, I've trusted myself with that relationship thing over my years. And let me tell you, I'm no good at this stuff. I am no good. So I've stopped trusting myself. I'm literally that guy. Oh, that girl looks really hot. That's cool. Cool. Let me go on off my day. Because let me tell you right now, every time I try to make the decision, it ends up bad for me. So I'm going to go complete opposite of what that girl said. And Malka said it in here. The big guy knows, right? And I put it right here. God will provide. God will provide. When the time comes that I am, and I got to trust this because I've said it before, I did at one time propose to a woman. And at the time, the more I think about it as I've grown, buddy, we would have been failure in like the fastest handbasket you could possibly imagine. There was neither one of us had a pot to piss in, and we were just looking at each other like, yeah, let's get married because it's the thing to do, right? Oh, it's the dumbest thing that ever happened. Anyway, it never happened. Thank God. But with that being said, now I know that when that time comes, there'll be a crossing of the paths, and I won't expect it to happen. It'll just happen, and I'll be ready. Things will be in line. I'll have my life where I need it to be, and I'll be able to provide some real substance to whoever it is. Like I said before, the next person that gets swirl is going to have the best swirl they've ever had in their entire life. And that's because I've overcome all the demons that held me back in my past relationships because I left it up to myself to try to figure that stuff out. So that's a big one. You know, a lot of people, you talked about being in your thoughts, your minds. Maybe they're in Netflix and, you know, they start watching and binge watching somebody. There's something, they're watching Breaking Bad. Hey, instead of just watching one episode, what do? They watch 10 episodes, right? And that's why they call it binge watching, right? So a lot of people spend too much time on Netflix, too much time in their thoughts, too much time in the relationship, too much time in the dead-end job, and they never listen to that little hair on the back of their neck that said, hey, maybe it's time to turn this off. Maybe it's time to use these skills for something else. You know, and it's funny because that stuff does happen to people all the time and they ignore it. You know why? Because their attention span is everywhere. You know, they can't sit and look and think about, hey, I'm just worried about the 4 or 5 things that's going to make my life better on a daily basis. I don't care about everything else that's going on around here. Literally, like fantasy football, NFL, all of that stuff. Well, I don't check any of that. And do I have a fantasy football league? Yeah, of course I'm playing with the GACs. But I have no idea whether I'm winning or losing. I looked at it the other night when I was in Spaces. I haven't looked at it since. You know, it just, I literally don't pay attention to it because you know why? It has no bearing on the 4 or 5 things that I deal with on a daily basis that keep my life sane, that keep my life in level order, that keep my life with momentum going forward. As a matter of fact, on a daily basis, I check those things over and over and over again. Am I checking the box the right way? And am I putting in the right amount of effort to make sure that my physique is good, my mental health is good, my financials good, my family is good, and the businesses I have are good? If I can do all of those things right off the bat and I can check them on a daily basis, boy, I can go to bed feeling like $1 million, right? Because that's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm working for. I'm working for myself and I'm working for the things that are going to create a win for me. I don't care who wins on Monday Night Football. I don't care who's winning on whatever Olympic stage. I don't care who's on Mr. Olympia or whatever. That does nothing for me. Their journey started 10, 14, 15 years ago in their life. When do I start my journey? Or did I wake up this morning, got the gift of my 2 eyes and said, hey, my journey continues. Let me get back on those 4 or 5 things.
Yup. All of that right there. None of those things have bearing on you. And it's why we talk about not wasting your Sundays. And, you know, I mentioned it on Monday. You know, this past Sunday, I watched more football than I have all year long. And I realized how much I love football. I realized how much I just absolutely love football. But while I had Red Zone on, while I had the games on, I still had my computer out. I still had all my work pulled up. I still had all my notes. I was still getting after it. And as a matter of fact, I was viewing the games and what can I pick up from one of these guys or one of these announcers or somebody who's going to say the thing that is going to trip my trigger that's going to bring me a motivational message to Forge and Fuel on Monday. As a matter of fact, that's kind of what happened as I was sitting there thinking, oh, wow, we had a great week. Okay, yeah, this, you know, don't just sit there with your hand in your pants fucking watching guys who don't even have your name on their backs making millions of dollars when you barely got a couple of pennies to scrape together and you're wondering how you're going to eat lunch on Monday morning. Huh? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
It was at this
right?
moment that he knew he fucked up.
And I tell you, man, you talk about just being in those relationships and whoever gets you next is going to get the best version of Swirl. Man, I agree with that so much. And I was to that point where I had moved up here to Chicagoland area and I had moved up here because of a woman in my friend group and I was going to marry her and away we go. And as soon as I started to pop questions and ask and say, hey, let's do it, shit started getting weird. Shit started getting really funny. And I was like, what the fuck is going on around here? And unfortunately, that relationship ended. But the way it did was the best thing that could have ever happened to me in my life. And it made me look myself in the mirror and say, who do I need to be as a man? What do I need to be as a significant other, as a husband, as a father? Who do I need to be the best version of Colt? And it took me a long fucking time. It took me from about 2019 to about 2023 to really fucking get back to me, to really, okay, yeah, all right. I'm in 2024, you guys have seen it. You guys have seen my entire 360-degree level up over the course of the last few months. I mean, for fuck's sakes, these sleeves weren't tight. This is a large, Swirl. This is a large, my boy. This is a large. Do you see this? I'm just not here moving.
I like the shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Fuck Mutant Mal. Fuck all the damn mutant sons of bitches. Anyhow, I had to do a little rocket one time. But I'm telling you, man, I figured it out. And I don't have everything figured out. I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the planet. I don't make $1 million. But I figured out how to just be me. And that's what all this shit just comes down to, man. It's just learning how to be you. It's just learning how to accept yourself and all your flaws, all your ups, all your downs. Realize where you missed the mark and not saying, that's how I am. I'm just going to be angry, pissed off son of a bitch all my life. I'm just a hothead. Well, maybe not. Maybe you can fucking work on that. Maybe, just maybe, inanimate objects aren't fucking trying to piss you off. Maybe you just need to fucking relax, homeboy. What the hell's wrong with you? And the more you look at those things that take away from you, the better you're going to get. But that's where most people miss. They don't look at the shit. They just say, that's how I am. My dad was an asshole, so I'll be an asshole too. Oh, my mom never got that opportunity, so I'll never get that opportunity. Guess what? I told this to my mom. I said, I've let go of all grudges of you, my dad, all that shit, whatever, because it's not my life. I was holding grudges against somebody who's not even walking on this fucking planet anymore. Your thoughts, your perspectives, yeah, you brought me into this world, but it's my life. It's my life and it's your life. Like, we got to figure this thing out on our own. We got a support system, but it's my life. It's your life. You can't do this for me. I got to figure this shit out on my own. And the more you do that, man, and the more you parents can teach your kids to do that shit and let them find themselves early. And when they're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, they find these fucking mindsets instead of cocking around, going to the parties at 18 and fucking doing what I did and waste 4 years of college boozing and chasing fucking tail. Help them. Don't let them waste their shit. Help them get to it now so they can have a good, solid internal antenna. So when they're 21, 22, 23, and all of their friends are fucking up saying, hey, let's go to VIP bottle service, they can be like me and waste their 20s. Not waste their 20s. They can sacrifice their 20s. They can say, you know what? I don't need to do what everybody else is doing because I'm going to do what me is doing. And I'm going to find my path. And my path is not their path, their path, their path, or their path. Here I stand. Here we are now. What's next?
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now. So what you're saying is interesting because you say, hey, I'm not going to let them waste their 20s, or you shouldn't let them waste their 20s, right? And you've been using yours. And I'll say like this, I don't care how old you are. Age is nothing but a number, 1,000,000%. I see people who are 25 that are in worse shape than 50-year-olds. And I see people who are 50 that are in better shape than most 25-year-olds. So that doesn't mean anything how old you are. What the difference is what you're doing with the time today. That's the difference. Doesn't matter if you're 50, 60, 25, 32, 86, doesn't matter. You have today, just like I do, just like Capp does, just like Elon Musk does. Everybody's got that. What you do with that time is up to you. You can start your business today. You can start your journey today. You can become fit by the end of the year if you really wanted to. There's a lot of things you can do with your life if you decide you want to do it. And that's the thing about it. People say, oh, I'm too old for that. Or, hey, oh, my heyday's gone, you know, or, hey, I've had my days in the sun, or, you know what, that won't happen for me because my parents never came from that, or all that's bullshit. We create our lives. We create our wins. I've watched so many different people create something from nothing, literally. And the more you think about it, it happens every single day. I mean, you literally, Simply Soapology was nothing a year ago. Think about that. The Breadheads didn't even have a business 2 years ago. Think about that. Okay. This show was not here at the beginning of this year. Think about that. So these things have been created from nowhere. These are ideas that come and literally become tangible evidence of somebody thinking ahead. This is actual proof of things working out when you decide to change. So that's why when I say, hey, it doesn't matter how old you are or what you think you're doing with your life, you can start today at 7:49 a.m. at Central Standard Time and create a win for yourself today that will compound tomorrow, that by the time you get to January 1st, 2025, has created created a massive win for you. Let me tell you, I'm creating wins for myself. And people, oh, you know, you guys, I don't have anything figured out, man. I've done my life the best I possibly can. I've rolled with every punch that possibly could be. I have been kicked, beat, batted, you name it. I have gotten everything happen to me. You name it, it's happened. I keep getting up and I keep smiling and saying, thank you, sir. Can I get another one? Thank you, sir. Can I get another one? When something bad happens, I smile. You know why? Because if I'm not dying, then I'm thriving. I've got to keep moving forward. I've got to find a way to overcome whatever this is. And regardless, if I get an email that I don't like, or I get a text message I don't like, or I get something in the mail I don't like, right? That stuff doesn't bother me. It's not going to slow me down. Yes, it's a small speed bump on the road of my life. However, I can navigate that however I want. If I think I've got enough to just go right over it, I'll go right over it. But if I need to navigate it a little sideways so I can get over it, then I will do that, okay? The end result is this. You have 24 hours every single day. Most people put so much things in front of them that they don't feel like they got 24 hours. You know why? Because they spend 8 hours at work. They spend an hour driving there back and forth. They have to watch that show tonight. That takes another 2 hours from them. Oh, I got to make dinner, and that takes another hour. I mean, are you losing track of the time? So am I. I can't even keep track of how many hours that is already. And now we're not even talking about sleep. We're not talking about hydrating. We're not talking about mental fitness. We're not talking about anything like that. And these are just the things I'm putting in front of me as distractions so I can get through this day. Buddy, that's why people are going wrong. That's where you're going wrong. You have the ability. I don't care what age you are. You are today's age. Today is the youngest you'll ever be. Will you start working for yourself today and wait till tomorrow to get older? Or are you going to start the young that you have today so that tomorrow when you get older, you're better off for it? Hey, and you know what else? Check this out. And I was just thinking about this, and this is just random thought. So I'm sitting here.
I love this shit.
I put my leg up, right? Check this out. I'm wearing my, right?
Uh-huh.
I got meetings today. Guess what I have? Only.
Uh-oh.
Just realized it. And I'm like, great. And so instead of getting caught in my head about it, I'm like, well, guess what? I guess I better go find a Cole Haan outlet somewhere on the way out of here and go buy me some shoes because I have no dress shoes for the day. You know what I mean? So, but you think it's going to ruin my day? Oh, hell no. It just gives me another opportunity to get some nice pair of shoes, right? People are like, oh, I got to go spend $100, $200. You know what, dude? If you haven't gotten those 5 things put together, then when you get the flat tire, that's why you're on the side of the road crying.
Life of abundance, bro. Life of abundance, bro. Who's to say? Who's to know? We're just out here trying to give you the keys to help you not survive, but thrive in this thing called life. I'm telling you what, 52 minutes of straight heat. Holy shit, somebody grab the fire extinguisher. It is nothing but flames. I mean, you can see it behind us. Put it out.
I hope not.
Fuck, it's hot around here. It's hot, Swirl. My ass is on fire. Jeepers, creepers, it's hot in this box. Holy shit. Hope you guys are feeling the vibe. Shout out to each and every one of you tuned in live. We appreciate you. Hey, if something throughout the show today has tripped your trigger already, made you laugh, made you cry, made you think, don't be a hoe. Share the show. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Let the people know. And we will proceed with this morning's flow. As we get into the second segment of the day, I honestly I just love this whole damn thing. I love this shit. This is just how can you get a better start to the day, hanging out with the boys, talking to shit, getting better. It doesn't get better than this.
I'm fired up, bro. What are you talking? You're talking throwing pens over here.
Fuck, I'm juiced up. And we're going to get even more juiced up. You just wait. You just wait. Because I got, on the other side of this transition, I got 4 inspirational clips that are guaranteed to get your gears turning. So, my friends, now's a great time to go refresh that water, get a fresh cup of Java, get that fresh note sheet ready, turn over the old one, fresh and blank. Here we go. Note pens, pencils, whatever the hell you're doing, large jar of ink, big feathery quill, and we dive into the second segment of the day, your reaction refinery. Alrighty, my friends. Once again, 4 clips on tap for you here today. We got one coming from a TV show. We've talked about some TV shows today. Got one coming from a content creator who is on about the same level as me and Swirl One, maybe more followers, but doing the damn thing. We got a legendary actor, RIP, who will be giving us some perspective. And then another content creator who's going to tell us, I think, what we've been thinking. Who's to say, who's to know? So let's get it started as we say hello to a few members of the show called Billions. If you've never heard of it, that's okay, because I was yesterday years old when I heard of it too. It is on Showtime, and apparently it is a banger of a show. I was starting to look in the cast and the crew and this and that, and kind of reading Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, whoa, I didn't even know this fucking thing existed. Apparently, they got a lot of these moments that happen throughout the show. So this morning, we're going to be saying hello to our friends from Billions. You might recognize a couple of these actors, and they're going to tell us about breaking the stick.
What do you do when there's no play to be made? When no matter what you choose, it'll end in disaster.
Classic double bind. There's a Zen koan, where the teacher holds a stick. He says to his student, if you tell me this stick is real, I will beat you with it. If you tell me it is not real, I will beat you with it. If you say nothing, I will beat you with it. And so, the student reaches out, grabs the stick, and breaks it. If a situation is untenable, Mrs. Rhodes, you break that fucking stick.
You break that fucking stick! Ah! Come on, man. Tell me that's not hot. Tell me that's not hot right there, boy.
I love it. Hey, and sometimes I've heard it so many times when people are saying, hey, sometimes you just got to throw everything away and start again, right? Sometimes that's what you got to do. The one thing I like about that, though, is when you're faced with a bad situation, he's saying no matter what, I promise you that stick's going to hurt at full length. Better when you break it, you're not going to feel that pain. What are you going to do with the stick now, right? It's kind of like, hey, sell me that pen. People have a hard time with selling me the pen. Well, if you give a reason for somebody to sign something and tell them the only way they can sign it is with this pen, I'm sure you'll sell it pretty darn quickly, especially if there's a nice reward on the other side of it, right? So you got to break those sticks of life. You cannot in any way, shape, or form be, how do I say, held down by that stick. You can't fear the stick. That's what I was looking for. You can't fear the stick, right? There is no spoon. Right? Think about that. When you know that, and when you know that, hey, none of this is going to matter at the end, and all of this pain just really tells me and helps me remember that I am immortal and that it's really just keeping me ingrained in my internal, then I'm going to be fine. Because you know what? Pain is growth. When you go to the gym and you kick your own ass, you're going to feel pain later. I'm sorry. That's what's going to happen. You know what? When you hear the I don't want us and you keep doing it, it's a little painful. You know what? Sometimes there's some parts of books that you're reading are really good, but there's a chapter or two in there that are hard to read, right? None of this stuff is easy. There's a pain in all of it, but we've got to be able to handle it, be able to mitigate that pain and understand at the other side of this, I'm growing.
Damn straight, baby. Come on. You know, I was, hey, RFHC, our friends over at Radio Free Hub City, I've broken a few sticks in my life and no regrets. Hey, I like that thought. You know, I just kept thinking, burn the boats, burn the boats, burn the boats, do whatever it takes. If you can't find the fucking answer, do the least anticipatory answer. We're taking this fucking island. We're not building a fortress. We're not going to base down in camp. We're not going to get sandbags. We're burning the boats. We're taking the island. I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. This is what's going to happen. And I tell you what, you start operating with that mindset, shit starts clicking for you. Shit starts happening. Break the stick, man. I don't want to get hit by that stick. I don't want to go there. You know what? I'm going to do what nobody else anticipates me to do. Let me break the shit out of it. There's building nice places for people that like things easy. They're called 15-minute cities.
Shout out Ted. Oh, that's awesome.
Man, I love me some Ted Logan. I tell you what. This guy, son of a bitch. They had them a good space the other night. They were popping. They had some shit going.
If it didn't happen right when the grandpa space was happening, I compared. I'm
what the
getting ready at that time. When they're starting that space, it's literally as I'm starting to prepare. So
I know I popped in for a little while. I just wanted to make sure they knew we were seeing them. We knew we loved them. We appreciate the hell out of them. Shout out to the Phone Booth Pod guys. Death, Rufus, Ted, Bill, all you guys. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Shout out to you. Hey, little coffee cheers to the Phone Booth Pod boys. Shout out. Shout out. But my friends, there is your first clip of the day. Break that fucking stick. We get into the second segment of the day. We say hello to a man who you probably don't know. I've seen him around a few times and just happened to scroll past one of his videos yesterday, and I said, ooh, I think that might tie in well with everything we're talking about. So the young killer, Mr. Devontae Warner, is here this morning to tell us about true love and true friendship.
And I don't know who needs to hear this, but if I'm pushing you to do better, it's not to belittle you. It's not to make you feel less than a person. It's because I see more in you than you do yourself. And the friends who let you sit in the comfort of your bad habits, they do not love you as much as the ones who encourage you to do better for yourself.
Short and sweet, right with that heat, man. And it's so true. We want people around us that are going to confirm our biases and tell us everything's okay and rainbows, puppy dogs, and unicorns. And it's all right, sweetheart. That's why people never really go anywhere in life, because they have people that want to wrap it up in a nice paper or plastic, put a bow on it, make it look all sweet. And here you go. No thanks. I want to be told straight to my face, hey, you're fucking up, bud. This is what you need to change, right? And I think about Deezy. Shout out our Mr. Producer back there in the green room. I've been endlessly hard on this motherfucker. Every time we're together, I'm always trying to get him to see something else, to see the value that he has, that for some reason he doesn't believe that he has. And I try to do that with so many people. I see the value you have. God has given me this gift to see value in others that they can't see in themselves. And all I've ever done is just over and over and over again. Come on, Deez, let's go. Let's do this. Try this. What do you think about this? Hey, change your perspective. Do this, right? We were talking on Monday, and he was saying, oh, well, I don't know if I can do this training. And then I started talking to the manager, and the manager said, this and that. Oh, I'll believe in the manager. I said, wait the fuck a minute. You got to have a manager tell you she believes in you for you to believe in yourself? I said, when are we going to believe in ourselves? When are we going to stand tall and say, this is who I am? He said, damn, you're right. Holy shit, you're right. And I said, bro, I say these things because I fucking care about you, bro. And I've seen you level up so much that I don't want you to stagnate. And it's the same with me and Swirl. Swirl calls me on the carpet. I call him on the carpet. Fucking it's everybody in the Diamond Hand fam. If you don't have those people that are willing to check your ass and say, hey, dog, probably not a good thing, homie. We don't do that. We need to readjust this. Hey, it's only data. Calm down. I'm just trying to get you into the right mindset. Relax. If you don't have those people in your fucking life, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to stay the same version of you. You're going to be pissed off at the world. You're never going to find anything. No success, no joy, no love, none of it. And you're just going to be in the same miserable bullshit relationships over and over and over again because you ain't got somebody to call you on the carpet.
Or when they call you on the carpet, you just get mad. So you shut them out. I've seen that too. I've seen that all the time. People get mad. They shut you out. And you try to tell them, hey, it's only data, man. And they're, oh, no, you're just picking on me. Oh, you don't understand. Oh, no, I do understand. That's why I'm in front of you. And a lot of people end up walking away and getting away from those kind of conversations because they're uncomfortable. And that's the thing about it. You have to face those. And that's why I always look at it like, look, I have to ask myself every day, how are we feeling? How am I doing? Right? Because I know when I do wrong. I know when I'm on the wrong path. I know when I need to go to work and I need to get my gym done and I haven't eaten right. I know all those things. And I know it needs to put me on that path and put me back on that path. Like I said, we only have today. I need to start right now. Somehow I got to fit it into today. Because if I wait till tomorrow, man, I'm going to be in that same situation I was in yesterday. That's the problem. We have no problem putting off all the good things. We have no problem putting out all the things that we should be doing and acting like they're not big deals. But when you have people that say, hey, maybe you ought to pay attention to this, maybe I wouldn't say it that way. Or man, sometimes you got to pay attention to those because really They're just trying to keep you from making the mistakes that they probably made. Most people that say things like that are like, hey, kind of seen the end of that movie right there. I don't want you to have to deal with what I went through. And I promise if I could stop it right now and kind of help you a little bit, it'll be a lot easier for you than it was for me. And that's the biggest thing. We have to inspire people around us. If you care about somebody that's in your circle, or you have to, man, when you go and have lunch or dinner with them, spend the time, have the attention right with them. Hey, listen to what their problems are. Sometimes they ask you to dinner just because, hey, they want somebody to talk to, and you're the person that they can confide in. So take that seriously. Don't just show up and say, hey, I'm glad to hear, have tacos or whatever. Buddy, don't pick up the phone. Pay attention to that person. There's a reason they want to connect with you. And sometimes it's for advice, and they may not even directly ask you for that advice. They might say something and just hope you say something that will help them. And they might be trying to look for answers and not be asking you questions.
It's like I know these things might build upon themselves. Who's to say, who's to know? A hell of a segue for the third clip of the day. That's gonna bring some interesting thoughts. I've been really thinking about this one, and now that you went in that direction, this is just gonna be a great conversation here for the third clip. We're gonna say hello to a legend. Rest in peace, the late, great James Earl Jones, here this morning to tell us about advice or wisdom.
Advice would you give a young man today?
I have no advice to give anybody. I think advice is a bad policy. Accepting advice is also a bad policy. You can listen to wisdom, you can share wisdom, but I wouldn't give advice to anybody, a young person, except that they listen to what they feel they want to do. Advice often can limit someone. If I advise somebody, I'm advising them according to what I know, according to my limitations, and that imposes limitations on them.
What do you think about those thoughts, Swirl One?
That's big. I like what he said there, and he's right. That perspective is coming from my perspective, and I've only been on this earth for whatever many years, right? Whoever you're listening to. It could be a 20-year-old, it could be a 70-year-old. Some people, even the guy that went to Jay Leno the other day, what advice would you have for him? And he's like, I really don't have advice. The only thing I would say, right, is what he said, is take the job now, figure out what it pays later, right? That's and it's very smart and wise, because you know what? If you really are introspective and understand yourself very well, you know that even as good as your life might be, as successful as you are today, there are choices you made along the way that did hinder that growth or didn't quite get you to where you wanted to be. And if you made a different decision here and there, it might have done something different for you. No matter how successful you are, there's always somebody who goes back, man, I could have made it. Would they go back and change it? Probably not. But if they were in that moment and saw forward a little bit, they might go, hey, I might do this a little different. But that's the difference. That's why you can't advise people for those kind of things, because, again, my advice comes from somebody who literally came up dirt poor, was living in a car, ended up being homeless, went to jail. Everything's happened to me, man. You name it. I am not afraid to say it. So my advice may not work for you. And you might look at me like, who the hell is this guy to tell me anything, because I've never had any of those things happen to me. So why would I listen to him? Exactly right. Don't listen to me. But I will say this, you can learn something from my story. And if I can make it out, get up every single day with the utmost fire and fuel to be able to get out here and forge a path with everybody, then I'm going to do that shit. Because you know why? I only have today. I don't care what happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or yesterday. If I make it better today and I take care of those 4 or 5 things, I know tomorrow will take care of itself.
Yeah, boy. Advice or wisdom, man. I come to this show and I don't ever try to speak on anything that I don't know. I don't ever try to pretend that I'm so smart and I got it all figured out. I simply share wisdom on how I've survived this thing called life. I share stories. That's why I tell a lot of stories. It's because my life, I'm always looking at what is this supposed to teach me? What am I supposed to learn here? And if I learn something in that moment, maybe somebody gets to pretty close to that or something similar, maybe a couple standard deviations off, and they say, oh, shit, Capp said, oh, this is that moment. Oh, I get it now. Okay, bam, right. He didn't tell me to take the leap of faith, but he told me how to get to the canyon's edge. Bam. right? I'm not telling you how to build the fucking airplane, but I'm telling you we'll be there at the bottom of the canyon when you inevitably splat. I'm there. I'll put the big ass spatula underneath you and thunk, stick you back up. Oh, there goes Sally. All right, let's see if she comes back to. Oh, ooh, that one hurt that time, didn't it, Sally? Okay, but hey, it's all right. We're here. We're all here. It's all good. Thunk, throw it back up, and we'll just keep watching it, and we'll keep seeing it until you fly. We can't build the plane for you, but we can certainly help you take the leap of faith and have a little inspiration. Who's to say? Who's to know? Advice or wisdom? Shout out James Earl Jones. One more this morning, my friends. This one's good. Ooh, this one's good. Open your ear holes wide. This is courtesy of our Mr. Producer, DEEZYY. Found this one a couple days ago. Finally had an opportunity to bring it to the show. The one and only Roberto P. Nixon. If you don't know, you won't know. He's been in the content game for a hot minute, making some funny stuff, making this, that. I'm pretty sure he's been around since the Vine days, for crying out loud. And he's going to tell us this morning about the social media game.
Media is dead. There's no social anymore. It's consumption. It's a status game, okay? So why not play it like a game? The great online RPG. The more you play, the stronger your character gets. The stronger the character, the bigger the loot. The bigger the loot, the better the gear. The better the gear. Wait a minute. How do you beat this game? You don't. You keep playing. You keep chasing more and greater and bigger and better until you burn out. Realize how empty it is and that the only real winners are the game's developers. That's grim. Maybe there's a better way. Everybody can be great because everybody can serve. It's a MLK quote. But if you create to serve others, to educate, to entertain, to encourage somebody in a dark place to not give up, maybe that's how you win.
Yeah, man. You only have today. Start playing the game. That's really what it comes down to. Stop waiting for tomorrow to turn on and grab your controller. Like, this life is fleeting. Luckily, you might have 80 summers. I keep talking about it. And the more I think about that number, the more I realize how important today is. And I don't think people realize that. They really think, hey, I can take care of it this weekend. Hey, I can do it next week. Or, hey, I'll start on January 1st with my New Year's resolution. You may not make it to January 1st. Just the truth, right? So I love what he says. I'm a big fan of RPGs. And what's really cool about RPGs, and I'll say this just on that game, because you do build something in RPGs. A lot of times you build yourself. Sometimes you build properties, and it's really a simulation of life in a different way. And I think what it does is it takes people back to trying to explore what they can do with their lives. And RPGs do help you level up. And I think when you're dealing with social media, if you use it in the right way and you can educate yourself, you can entertain yourself to the right way. And I'm not saying like to the point where, like I said, you're binge watching, but to this point right here where we're learning things that we can give to you guys on a daily basis, that's what's important. Every time I show up, I mean, literally, I post on my social media, and I've been doing it for 5 years, probably more, that every day I've got little quotes on my Instagram. And I've been doing that on purpose because I don't want people to see my social media and think I'm an idiot. And they might think I'm stupid by doing that, but they won't think I'm an idiot. You know why? Because idiots post dumb shit all day long. And they're going to be like, I don't want to watch this guy's story. But when they do watch my story, they're like, wow, didn't think about it that way. Wow, wonder why this guy does this every single day. It's not for me. It's sometimes for me, but most of the time it's for everybody else out there, because I know that if I can touch one person today, that's all I'm really trying to do. I don't care if there's 1,000 people tuning into this, but if I can touch one person today and make them better for the actions that I've done this morning, for the things that I'm saying, or for the life that I'm leading, then I'm winning. That's all there is to it. And I'll go and take care of the 4 or 5 things for my life today. And hopefully that person gets a little inspiration to do the same.
We're already winning the game. We're already winning the fucking game. We don't do this for likes and reposts and comments and fucking algorithm and to be famous. We're already doing this to create change. We didn't have to become famous in order to help people change their lives. It's the precedent, the core, the building blocks of everything we do around here. And all I've been doing is playing the fucking game for the better part of fucking 5 years now. And slowly I've watched my character begin to level up. Slowly I've watched my attributes begin to get a little more skill points. Slowly I've watched my followers go up and more people come around and more likes and reposts. And, you know, years ago, I would have prayed for 50 people to like an Instagram post. Now I throw something out there and it happens overnight without me even thinking about it. I prayed for those things. Now here I am doing it. We're already winning the game. We're already winning the fucking game. We're showing up every day, putting in the work, putting the tokens in the machine, letting the claw spin around, hitting the button, and maybe we pick up a wonderful, fluffy, stuffy elephant with a big, long trunk, and then maybe we come up with nothing but air. Maybe next time, you know, who knows? Maybe we come up with air. Maybe we get something the next time. But I'll tell you how we don't get something is if we don't keep hitting the button and letting the claw go down into the machine. That's how we don't win. So I'm just going to keep showing up every single day and playing the game with that mindset because I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know why I'm here, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm just going to keep doing that every single day, and eventually somebody will take stock. Somebody will notice.
Stats, bro. Max out your stats.
Woo!
Literally. Think about that.
Woo!
If you've ever played any RPG game, they've always got money in there. They've always got intelligence in there. They've always got strength in there, dexterity. Like all these things are the things in life you want to max out. Okay, so you spend a couple levels maxing out your intelligence level. Okay, so spend a couple levels maxing out your financial level. Whatever it is, use this. That's why I tell people all the time, I love high scores. I do. I'm just a gamer. I do. So why wouldn't I want the high scores in my own life? The reason why I love to save things because I want to see how much I can get in there. I want to see what I can do. How high can I put this? I mean, and again, that's one of those things. And if you have ever played a game with me, shout out to Orion. You all know Orion. He plays with me quite a bit. When we play, he's one of the things he always says, he goes, I don't know how you do it, but every game you play, you always have millions of dollars. And I'm like, it's how I play the life game. It's how I play games. This is how I win. What are you talking about? I literally look at the game to try to figure out how I can max out that stat first, because I know in life, if I take care of those 4 or 5 things, I don't have to worry about buying the badass weapon. I don't have to worry about what shield I'm going to use. You know why? Because I can afford to get whatever one I need, right? Just like today, I don't have any shoes. A lot of people would freak out. Guess what? I can go anywhere I want and get whatever. And that's not bragging. But the point is I've set myself up and literally didn't buy the coffee. I haven't been to Starbucks in forever. I haven't been to Chick-fil-A in forever. The last time I ordered from a box that said, welcome to here, was back in May. Last time I ordered Grubhub, back in May. Okay. Think about that for a second. Made my own meals every single time I possibly can, unless I'm on vacation like this or on a trip like this. I got to do something that, I'm going to eat healthy. But that's the difference, though. People don't do that shit, man. They'll keep spinning, and then when it comes time to fix the flat, they use the little psh, 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 instead of just buying another tire.
What decisions are you making, my friends? Who's to say, who's to know? I told you these were going to get your gears turning today. How about that for a reaction, Refinery? Hot damn! Those are some good ones. Hope you enjoyed that segment. Hope it got you some additional thoughts, some more perspectives. We carry on with this morning's show, and we allow this proverbial showboat to catch a flow through the waves of change as we get into the third segment of the day. Your answers from the Anvil. Okie dokie, artichokes. We have officially reached the final segment of the day. If you don't know, you won't know, but this is where we dive into the live chat. We check out those emails and we see what the people are saying. Bay. So if you got a question, you got a perspective, you got something in between, drop it on over there in the live chat. We'll pop it up on the screen and we'll answer it, give our best opinions and perspectives. We're not the smartest tool in the shed or sharpest tool in it, however you're supposed
Oh,
to.
we're not afraid to get up here and try.
You know what I'm saying? That, but I'll put my face out there and I'll just see if you get that guy in the comment section. I wouldn't put my face out there if I were you. Hey, fuck you, asshole. I'm just out here doing me.
And I don't see your face anywhere. So
and I don't see your face. So what the fuck are you doing? Stay in my comment section, helping my algorithm. Ass clown.
Oh, and thanks for watching the show.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Maybe subscribe, hit a like, let a friend know. Who's to say, who's to know. But DEEZYY, my guy, back in the green room. He's been looking at the comment section all morning long. What do we got out there, my man? Mama Capp shouting out the opening song. As always, opening song is so fire. We love us some coffee with light cream and sugar. What day is it? I don't know. Hump day.
Hump
day. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out Pride Stanford. We appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for being here live in prime time. I seen both of the bread heads bouncing around in the comment section this morning. JK Big Time. I saw this pop up earlier. I like this. People like to cuddle with their bad habits instead of breaking it off clean. Everyone knows what's holding them back, man. I keep saying it multiple days in a row. Go hop on a scale. You're going to know what to do. Either you're too skinny or you're too fat. You're going to know what to do. And it's going to start opening up other ways of life and say, well, oh, shit, I'm missing here. I'm missing here. I'm missing there. I'm missing. Oh, shit, this is what I got to do. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe a little thought, a little perspective. Who's to say, who's to know? Glue Strip, what's up, brother? You either do it or regret. You never did it. What the fucking jeepers creepers? Where did you learn grammatical?
Did it. Time is against you. Choose wisely. There.
Oh, regret you never did. Ah, there we go. Hey, some punctuation might help.
Comma.
Yeah, a little punctuation might help there. Who's to say, who's to know? I barely passed English class. Picked a hell of a career for doing that.
Hey, I got your back, bro. If you can't get them, I'll decipher.
I appreciate it. I definitely need that. That's why we're a good tandem here. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out to the G. Lou's. We appreciate yous. Debbie Estes, a.k.a. Mrs. Metal. Trust your heart, not your head, because our emotions can sway our decisions. Ooh, if that ain't the truth. Doggone. You know, actually, save that one for a second, Deez. I heard this the other day. I was listening to this. If you can't, we talk about controlling your brain, blah, blah, blah. If you can't stop thinking, if you just can't fucking all the time, right? Shift your attention from right here. When you're thinking, your attention is literally right here. Take stock, take a minute. Your attention is literally right here. Move your attention to back here. Focus on the back of your head. Up here is where all of our worries and fears and nonsense and all the bullshit, here is where creativity and stability is. And if you shift your attention, it's what I talk about, shifting your attention down to your eyes. I heard this the other day and it made so much sense. Shift your attention back and think. Just think about it. Take some time. I'm telling you, it'll change your fucking life. You will realize that, oh my gosh, I have so much more control in this sack of pudding and sticks than I think I do. The system doesn't want me to believe this, but I bet you I got a lot more control than I think I do. So just change your perspective. Change your where you're at. Are you living right here through the eyes, or are you living through the soul in your mind? Just some perspective. Saw that roll up on the old timeline the other day. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe it tripped somebody's trigger. Our guy, Jeff Oglesby. Comfortability is most people's problem. If you get too comfortable in life, it's hard to change. Sometimes to grow, you have to get yourself uncomfortable. Damn straight. My coffee cup from yesterday. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Ralph Waldo Emerson, man. It's so true. Get out of your comfort zone. Change your comfort zone. Change your life. Who's to say? Who's to know? What else we got out there, D's? Our guy, Jared Albright, fired up, adrenaline kicked in. You guys are the best pre-workout. You are my drug. Woo! Shout out, Jared. We appreciate you, brother. Inject into the veins. Who's to say? Who's to know? Give him a straight adrenaline pump. Mr. Pride Stanford Capp, I am your father. I saw this earlier.
I am your father.
I saw this earlier and I started fucking out. You were in a real serious moment. And I was just like, fucking shit, Pride. Gosh, every fucking time. God,
he's the catfish, bro.
He is the catfish, man. Who's to say? Who's to know? Delta 24, Aunt Donnie. You only have today. If you don't know, you won't know. That is my Aunt Dawn, live in prime time in the chat. Appreciate you being here this morning, Aunt Donnie. JK Big Time, another one. Ooh, we might have some shit to research here. Ted, Microsoft bought up acreage in Southern Virginia looking to build a Microsoft city. Whoa, I didn't know about that. What's old William H. Gates III out there doing? He's up to no good is what I think. Who's to say? Maybe we'll bring that to a Red Pill show.
He's always up to no good.
Yeah, he's always up to no good. Who's JK big time? So master your mind, master your life, master the fundamentals, master the craft. That's what he said before that. Bingo. There it is on the screen. Shout out, JK. We appreciate your endless wisdom. Kelly O. Stanford, serving one another, not just the game. That's our purpose. Yes, ma'am. This girl gets it. I saw you in the chat. Shout out, Kelly O. We appreciate you. And Mr. Pride. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm pretty sure the chicken.
Chicken. Yeah, the eggs came later. Yeah, I've actually looked at that and paid attention to how it worked.
God, had to be the chicken. I mean, God was creating stuff. I don't think he was just creating an egg. Who's to say? Who's to know? I'm just out here sharing perspective as we flow. Oh, I don't know, Mama Capp, Kim Jones. Is the Earth round or flat? I don't know. I mean, this is still up for debate. There's great thoughts on one side. There's great thoughts on the other. You never really know. So we just kind of show up. And
one of my favorite questions.
Hey, we just keep throwing rocks at the dome. I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to know? Man, I saw some ha. I was deep down a rabbit hole last night on the old Tesla deal and the whole rocket ship and the catching and the hoo-hoo. And I said, oh boy, that's why I follow these guys. I didn't even look at it from this perspective before. And now they're showing me all these different things. And I'm saying, oh my gosh, is that a hologram? What is going on? Who's to say? Who's to know? Ted will like that one. Oh shit, it's flat. Oh my God. Nobody knows.
No.
It goes round and round. Nobody knows what it is.
Another show.
Oh shit.
Oh my.
I just removed the tile and tub in about half the time it usually takes. I stole your energy. Thanks, bros. We appreciate Steady. Big love, my man. Shout out. Thanks for tuning in. The silverback gorilla of the Diamond Hand Media Group, Mr. Motion, a.k.a. Mr. Michelin, says, if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. If you schedule it, it's real. Yeah, baby. Shout out, Motion. We appreciate you, brother. Thanks for being in the chat this morning. Shout out to all you beautiful humming bees, man. We got anything out there? I'll do a quick little scroll 2D, see if there's anything caught my eye. Oh, this was good. I liked this happening earlier. This cracked me up. Ted Logan goes, silence is golden. Malka goes,
silver.
Malka goes, shh. And then we had a quick little LOL back to back in there. And Ted was in it. I like that little bit earlier. It was pretty good. Had me laughing in the chat. If nobody saw that, who's to say, who's to know? That one got me. Shout out to all you beautiful babies. Oh, and I saw this one too. Where was it at? Hold on. We got to find Bella Rossi. Oh, yeah. He does have a gift. Thank you, Cap. You're welcome, Mama Snow. We're just out here kicking him in the ass every day we flow. Come on. I saw the gift before he could even see it himself. Shout out to you. We love you. Appreciate all you love, Miss Snow. And Papa Snow out there, too. We appreciate the hell out of the both of you. 35 degrees, wake and bake hits different. Yes, it does, my guy. Bro, 2 weeks ago, 80 degrees. Last week, 60 degrees. This week, sub 40 degrees. I don't know what's going on in the Windy City, but it turned from summer to winter in 2 weeks, boy. We are here. 36 degrees I'm looking at 8:27 Central. I don't like it, Swirl One. I don't like it for a minute.
I walked outside. It was freezing and I wasn't happy. No, I was not happy walking out this morning. And I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna suck today. I hate the cold. Let me just tell you, I am not a cold fan. I don't like snow. I'm not. And those people are like, and I really love the snow. No, you don't. Quit lying. You know how I know that? Because you'll sit all day long outside in the summer in the sun, just basking in it. Do the same thing in the winter. Let's see you do winter. Until you can do that, you don't love the snow.
Bingo. I don't know. Everybody in Chicago, oh, I love the snow. I love all the wind. The window is so great. Shut up. No, you don't.
They're lying. Nobody likes it.
Nobody likes it. You're just saying that just to try and make yourself feel better. You know you hate this shit. I mean, come on. Who the hell likes to go out of their house and the moment you get out of your house, it's just and then you get into the car.
You touch and see.
Oh, speaking of touch, you get into the car in the icicle and you put your ass in the leather seat and you're just just trying to get through the fucking first 2 minutes of the drive. Just, oh, come on, nobody likes that. Nobody enjoys that. Who's waking up in the morning wanting to do that? And it scraped the old ice off the windows. Yeah, that takes me from 6 to midnight. I just love doing that. Oh, give me a break, you.
And even motion, he's saying I'd rather be cold. That bullshit. Because when it's cold, we can't drive the cars. You're lying to me, bro. You would rather be there on a spring or summer day with your boy than outside in the cold on a winter. So quit lying to me.
Fat boy problems. Hey man, look, I still pit out when it's fucking cold out. So it doesn't matter to me if it's hot, if it's fucking cold. I burn 500 degrees. It's so funny. When me and DZ are together, he burns cold, I burn hot. It's just like we can't figure out the temperature. It's fuck, man. Hey, who's to say, who's to know? Cold isn't snow. That's a good point. I'm insulated. Oh, shout out Motion. Hey, if you guys a lot of people probably haven't seen Motion in a while. He's actually looking pretty damn good. Actually looking pretty damn good. Who's to say, who's to know? But my friends, there is your third segment of the day. Your answers from the Anvil. Bye. All right, my friends. I've been playing around with my challenge coin the whole time we've been talking here. If you guys are wondering what the hell I've been having in my hand right there. That's the old challenge coin of the Diamond Hand Media. Who's to say, who's to know? I just happened to have that around this morning. We got a couple of members got theirs. I know they were traveling around this weekend, early this week, and they were like, oh, I saw it got delivered. I'm just not home. I'll let you know when I get it. They're all excited. So make sure if you just got that and you're a brand new member, maybe post it out there. Let the people know. Let them know what you're a part of. That'd be pretty doggone cool. I haven't mentioned that, so I just figure I'll mention that right here, right now, live into prime time. But I think that's all we got for the majority of the show. Some reminders, some things to go over, some perspectives, and of course, the only way we know how to close this thing out. So, my friends, let's start it off. DJ Swirl One. Any final thoughts, perspectives, comments, reminders, anything in between for episode 590?
You only have today. You only have today. So what are you going to do with it? You already started your day right here. You got a lot of energy. Hopefully you got a little bit of fire to fuel it. So maybe you go out and create some good. Maybe you read a book. Maybe you start that gym workout. Maybe you start investigating how to get an LLC. Who's to say, who's to know? But you know what? If you don't do it today, you're wasting today. Try to think about where you put your attention today. Are you turning on the TV? Are you turning up the music a little bit? Are you looking at things that, don't help you grow? Maybe you ought to put down on paper what your 4 or 5 things are. That way you can start paying attention to those. Hey, just saying, we try to give you a little bit of thought process, some thought starters, all of that, but it's up to you guys to take them and enact them. So if you like something that you heard today, please share the show, send it out to somebody, or maybe when you're out and about in the world today, you go, man, you're in such a good mood. They go, how'd you get in such a good mood? Hey, I started my day with Forge and Fuel. You should try it. Let me show it to you, right? And send it to them because you never know. The world could use some kind of great inspiration, motivation, and some energy like this first thing in the morning. So I'm going to go out and find me a pair of shoes so I can go walk through this day light as a feather, my friends, because life is good. I have today, and I'm not going to waste it. So I'll see you tomorrow right here. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Shout out to One. Appreciate you. Thanks for all the reminders, perspectives, closing thoughts, and your vibes all morning long. Wouldn't want to do this show with anybody else, my guy. Appreciate the hell out of you. Have fun shopping for those shoes. Let us know what you get.
It's going to be like 5 minutes. I'm going in, give me them, I'm out. I'm not even.
Who's to know? But if they're stylish, maybe drop them in the chat. Let the people know. Let the people. Hey, there might be some people out there want a little follow up. Hell, maybe even make a post. There might be some people out there say, I want to see these shoes. I want to know where Swirl's at. I don't know. I'm just giving you a little thought, Swirl One. I don't know. Who's know? Shout out to you, my guy. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday because you deserve it. As for the rest of yous out there watching us live in prime time, on the other side of that screen, you know what time it is. Time to break it down. Not me, but real nice and sweet. Oh, yeah, that's right, baby. A couple of reminders for your don't bees. Number one, it's a hell of a day to get into the gateway. Maybe some swirl just said there, ooh, I want to start my LLC. Ooh, I want to start investing more wisely. Ooh, I want to figure out how to make a... Well, you could stop by the gateway. And maybe we'll just tell you how to start that LLC. Maybe you just might learn how to invest a little better. Maybe you might just get a little bit better mentally, physically, and financially. Maybe you just might grow that big old brain of yours 10 times the size. Who's to say, who's to know? But you can start your 7-day free trial today. Hop in the Gateway, come join the Diamond Hand fam, and start your level up the right way, baby. Not going to mention that second one. We'll see what we do there. If you remember the Gateway, just keep your eyes peeled, ears open. Who's to say, who's to know? We got a couple of busy guys on the screen here, so we'll cover that. Just keep your eyes peeled. Also, if you want to find some pertinent links to maybe the website, maybe the merch store, maybe GAC's merch store, maybe GACC, maybe everything in between, all you got to do is go down to this episode's description right down there yonder, and all the pertinent links you could ever want for DHMG x GACC are right down there. So make sure you visit them, check them out, maybe pick you up some swag, maybe check out some other social media platforms, maybe give us a like, a follow over there. Whatever you feel like doing, we certainly appreciate the hell out of it. And also, hell of a reminder for you to subscribe. To subscribe to the DHMG YouTube channel. Turn on those notification bells so you never miss a live show, any other content, or anything in between coming out. Hit a like, share it on Facebook, share it wherever you are. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, if that's the same fucking thing, Amazon Music, maybe you could give us a 5-star rating or hit that follow if you certainly enjoyed the show today. Shout out to each and every one of you beautiful human beings that helped the algo go, helped us carry on with the flow, and helped us have one electric morning show. Can't thank you enough. The right way here at Forge and Fuel. Hope you're fired up for this Wednesday. Could have invested your time a million and one other places. And the fact that you did here, we are forever grateful. We'll continue to show up each and every day on the consistent, persistent pursuit of our passions, baby, and be right by your side as you pursue yours day by day. Damn, I'm a poet, and now you really know it. It's like it just rolls off the tongue sometimes. I ask you, keep in mind that you are kind, you are smart, you are important, and you are loved. Also, number one, even a 2-year-old can make an excuse. Number 2, even a dead gefilte fish can go with the flow. So order you some X-Lax and get back to it, you chicken sucker. Who's to say, who's to know? That's for Rush Hour fans out there. And number 3, being that this show is a member of DHMG, the Diamond Hand Media Group, I ask you keep in mind that aforementioned company, DHMG, we don't only HOLD, we hold each other up. And right now is one hell of a time to flex those diamond hands. Shout out to each and every one of you flexing those diamond hands on a day in and day out, night in and night out basis. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Thanks for always having my back, having Swirl's back, having Deezy's back, and most importantly, having each other's backs. Thanks for being different. Thanks for setting the change and the precedent that we want to see not only on YouTube, not only on X, not only on Facebook, but in this entire wide world, baby. Thank you for being super soldiers. Thank you for being 1%ers. Thank you for setting the change. Those of you that are OGs, thank you for being a Diamond Hand fan. We appreciate you for showing up this morning. Thanks for starting your day the right way here at Forge and Fuel and getting fired up, baby. We'll see you. Same time, same place tomorrow morning. We'll catch you somewhere else before then. But for now, we bid thee adieu, and we say unto you, peace and love.